We're good. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's All Kayfabe. Uh, episode number 37. If you're keeping count, it's pretty cool. Here, another hot, scorching day with my buddy Gabe. Hey Gabe, how's it going for you today?
Uh, excuse me. It's
Mm-hmm.
good, man. Like you said, it's fucking hot. I woke up late. I slept in. I took a hot ass shower, brushed my teeth, washed my face, washed my ass.
Mm-hmm.
I ate,
Mm-hmm.
I scarfed down a cold slice of pizza before we started, so I think I'm ready to roll, man.
From where?
Peter Piper's.
Hmm.
Do you not like Peter Piper pizzas?
I mean, it's all right. I'm trying to think of where there's one near me, and I guess it's kind of close, but it's one of those places where like I usually eat there. I don't like get it to go or like delivered or anything like
Oh,
that. You know what I mean? Like it's a party. Like you go there for a party at Peter Piper's.
yeah. And I think with Chuck E. Cheese, they won't allow you to go inside unless you have a kid.
It's terrible.
I think so,
That's
man. But Chuck E. Cheese, they upgraded their pizza game, man. It's kind of game changer to be honest with you. I would say they're keeping up with Peter Piper, so I
so.
think go ahead.
What is it? The bread or the sauce or what is it?
The animatronics. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
yeah.
It's nah, it's I don't know what they did, man. I think it's like the sauce they did differently because I remember the sauce used to be super fucking sweet. And I
Hmm.
was not a fan of that. Like I'm just like it kind of just complemented the cheese and the toppings on the pizza. And plus, it was just kind of like a cheap pizza at the time.
Yeah,
But
I'm more of a Papa John's dude, and that's just
oh yeah,
because I don't know. Like in my growing up in my hometown, I didn't have Papa John's, and so when I got here, it was like, holy shit, this is really good. Like that barbecue chicken pizza, it's mind
oh
blowing.
my god, dude, I get that shit all the time.
Hmm.
If I could put that in an IV bag, I'd put that in an IV bag so I could put it in these fucking veins, man. But
Hell
it's
yeah!
quick random fact. I don't know if do you usually order off of Uber Eats?
Every now and then when there's a deal, but I've been kind of broke, so
Mm-hmm.
my sister will use my Uber Eats, and she likes to order sub sandwiches, like not from sometimes from Subway, but like Firehouse subs or Jimmy John's. She really likes the sub
Um,
sandwiches.
Firehouse subs, man. I have a bad story with them, but I'll talk about the thing that I know real quick. Um, if you go on Uber Eats and you want to get pizza, you look up Pasquale's Pizza. Like, there's a place called Pasquale's Pizza, and you order it, and they send it to you from Chuck E. Cheese because it's just Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
I remember you telling me that. I don't know if that was a life hack or if it just like pissed you off. What was
No,
your
it's
opinion on
just
that?
I think it's racist. It's insensitive. Yeah, because it's
In this day and age, yeah, yeah, I could see why you would do
anything's
that.
racist this day and age.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
because I was like, what the fuck? So I remember one time I ordered Pasquale's pizza, and sure enough, I got Chuck E. Cheese. So I looked it up, and it said Pasquale is actually the name of the animatronic chef that's in the band. Because if they were to put Chuck E. Cheese pizza, then I guess because a lot of people said like it has a bad rap, no one would order it.
Hmm.
So if we put Pasquale's pizza, oh, there's this new place called Pasquale's. Let's try this, and that's like shooting their business up, supposedly.
Yeah, yeah. It just goes to show you that the name is sometimes all that matters with people, and how we I know I would deal with that a lot with like the salads that we used to sell at the store. Like
Hmm.
you would just slap a different name on it, and suddenly it's artisan or gourmet or something.
It's like it's was it a Caesar salad, but it's a little Caesar salad, so it still has tomatoes.
I don't know. It's what was I trying to I don't know. It's criminal, and I feel
It's
like
insensitive.
like Wu Wings is just like random wing spots that just know like the spices or herbs and have the packaging on them.
Yeah, like Mr. Beast Burger.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I forget what they're called. They're called ghost kitchens. Ghost kitchens that they do
Oh
that.
god, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a child trafficking scheme if I haven't heard of one.
It is, but replace child with food, and it's misogynistic. No, but recently I deleted my Uber Eats because man, we ordered Firehouse subs and we only got 2 subs and it came out to like 50 something bucks.
I believe it. I believe it. That's why I wait till I have 50% off, and then it's just like a regular priced meal.
I did get that time, man. At that point, it's like I need to delete this shit, and then I'll just go pick it up. And then when it gets to the point, you want to go pick up food? I'm like, no. And then we starve because I don't cook.
Well, speaking of starving and dying, and
Perfect.
yeah, perfect segue to our first person. Rest in peace. The wrestling world is mourning the loss of one of its most influential figures, the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, who passed away at the age of 74. I don't think he starved. I was just trying to make a correlation to the fact that he passed away. What are your opinions on Kevin Sullivan passing away?
I know him more as a booker. I don't know him more as a wrestler, but you know, like the story behind him, like why he's so like infamous.
So I had to look at this because I was like, why are there people talking shit about him? Kind of like in this clip of here.
Welcome to hell,
where Paul picked him up from the airport. So, so I was like, why are people talking shit about him? And I was like, oh, because he was abusive to Chris Benoit's wife before he met her. So he was kind of like the catalyst of Chris Benoit getting with his wife, Nancy Benoit.
He booked his own divorce, man. That's what he did.
Mm.
Oh man, that's the only thing I knew him for. I didn't know that he had been up Nancy Benoit too.
That's what
Welcome
I
to hell, motherfucker.
No, I'm sure he was a good wrestler, a good booker, but of course, one thing will just follow you for the rest of your life if it does happen. One negative thing, one bad day.
You drive on the sidewalk one time
Mm-hmm.
downtown, and that's all people know you for. It's a shame, man. It's a shame.
I'm telling you, the age of consent in Colorado is 17, from what I hear.
You know
But
what? Let me fact check that real quick.
duck duck go. Use duck duck go.
I get swatted.
Let's use our VPN sponsor. And yeah, but I don't know. I guess I saw a lot of people mourning his loss, but yeah, I really didn't. I don't know. This didn't affect me. Like I said, it didn't affect you very much, right?
Nah, I sure didn't. That's why when he said that he saw people talking shit about him, I was just thinking, what he do? What did he do?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't bother trying to go and look for the facts of it. All I know is that he booked his divorce like during the storyline between him and Benoit, and she fell in love with Benoit, and now they're dead.
Again, this is all alleged, but this is on Dark Side of the Ring, so yeah, it's probably true. No.
It's in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Further on with our stories here, we have a full story on what went down between MJF and Britt Baker, as reported by Ibu, and why MJF was not suspended. Britt has since seemingly dismissed the story merely as a rumor. So Ibu, I don't know who Ibu is. Do you know who Ibu is?
I think he's for Wrestle Purist. Like
Hmm.
he's like one of the reporters, or like one of the reporters for one of those Twitter accounts.
Okay, so Ibu said all these things are true. MJF did punch a wall. MJF did 100% go into the women's locker room. The question now is, and the question that many fans have been asking is, then why did he not get suspended? The reason why he didn't get suspended is because of the context and order of these events. According to multiple sources, when MJF hit the wall, it was not a case of like he was in front of Britt Baker. He punched the wall right next to her. Apparently, he had his interaction, and he walked very, very, very far down the hallway where no one was there, and then hit a wall, which is a different context than in the women's locker room punching walls. He continued, regarding the women's locker room aspect of the story, the official info I got was that it was after this whole thing apparently had calmed down. Apparently, Will Ospreay was the first person to confront Britt Baker, and he just kind of asked her why she was starting issues. Ospreay confronted her, asked about it, and Britt Baker went off on Alicia Atu. Britt Baker called Alicia Atu by multiple accounts and I'm gonna say here, stupid fucking bitch, because Alicia Atu informed MJF that Britt Baker was berating him, talking crap about Max and Ospreay. Because she was basically like it's what the story had already been told, she was burying them as their match was going on, the 1 hour match. Alicia Atu lets Max know via text message. Max finds out later. Ospreay approaches MJF, comes to the defense of his fiance. Britt Baker goes off on Alicia for being a snitch. She accused her of being a snitch, called her a stupid fucking bitch. She said she was going to get her kicked out of the women's locker room, so on and so forth. MJF going into the women's locker room was allegedly him going there, knocking and asking if he could enter, and them saying that he could enter, and that's when he got into the locker room. Chapter 10. The reason why he was not suspended is because HR had all these details of the information and the footage, and they looked it all over and said, okay, you're not in the wrong here, and you're just coming to the defense of your fiance. So they just kind of didn't really punish him because they didn't see it as something that should be punishable. So that's kind of the deal with that's the situation with MJF and Britt Baker. Britt's not going to miss All In. She's going to wrestle at All In against Mercedes Mone. What do you think of that novel that I just read about Britt Baker causing drama?
That makes me want to donate $20 for reading 10 chapters.
that was a lot to.
That was a lot.
That was a lot for like a simple Brit started shit and that's it. And MJF punched the wall. You know.
Yeah, and I guess it's good too that we got this information because for those who don't know, there was like a report that we did last week where we talked about drama between Britt Baker and MJF, where the details we were given was that MJF entered the women's locker room, he started punching walls.
Mm-hmm.
Britt Baker called Alicia Atu a stupid fucking bitch, and Ospreay was involved as well. He goes, "Oh, I love God Save the Queen in it. What you doing?"
Also, I learned how to say Atu, Alicia Atu, because I did not know that was how you said her last name.
I think we both learned because I think I saw the video before we recorded, and I was like, "Oh, it's a two." I thought it was a tout.
Yeah, I thought it was a tout.
Yeah. But even though this is super long, I guess it's good that we did get all the information on this because I guess after we reported last week, both of us had the impersonation that MJF is uncontrollable. He's a lunatic. He's unstoppable. But
I still think he should have gotten in trouble for he didn't have to punch a wall. I don't know. Like I get tensions are high whenever your girl gets called a stupid fucking bitch, but I don't think he needed. I think he could have controlled himself a little bit better. But I don't know.
I just imagine him going, "Can I come in? It's MJF." And then he goes in, "What the fuck do you think you're doing to my wife? Whatever, you stupid cunt." Well, oh man, that's hard, man. I don't know why MJF said that. He didn't say that. But
and then he went very, very, very far away.
I imagine him just like leaving the building, going 5 blocks down into like a parking lot, just around the mall, and then just walking all the way back to the arena.
I just imagine it zooming out to a map of the United States and just showing MJF's head as it goes
it's on an airplane just going across the U.S.
Yeah. Going all the way across to like Antarctica and shit, and then he just like punches the wall.
And it shows him getting like his head back on a sailboat crossing the universe, but doing the swirls in the ocean. He goes to South America, but he sees him come back across the ocean. But yeah, this article was long and very detailed, but I guess it's good we have that information because the problem was Britt Baker. It's like I guess it's her. I guess it is like maybe voicing your frustration because they had a 1 hour long match, and I guess that does take up a lot of TV time. I mean, it is a fucking hour, but it's like why are you gonna go and call someone else a stupid fucking bitch just because they're telling the boyfriend like that's her fiance. I wonder who you're fucking talking to.
Yeah, she did a lot of unnecessary things that led to MGF doing unnecessary things. So, yeah, I guess we could blame Britt Baker. I just thought it was funny that she did get the butt of the suspension and all that, but I guess they did investigate and realized, oh, she's kind of the problem, you know?
She's been getting in a lot of trouble recently, right? Like with
Yeah, I have
everybody.
this other people backstage in AEW are dismayed that the incident between Britt Baker and MJF leaked with the feeling that it didn't help anyone. According to a report from PW Insider, the initial spark of the argument was likely an older issue that reignited following Baker's comments. It confirms that neither MJF or Will Ospreay entered the women's locker room, with both conversations taking place in a common area backstage. So, um, I guess this is kind of, I don't know, this kind of reminds me of All Out, or what was it? All In
Yeah,
with
all out.
CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
What
it's
what
getting leaked.
what do they call it? No, 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 no. It was all in. Yes, you're
All
right
In.
because I remember they called it the brawl out for the brawl out at all out, but that
Mm.
was man. They should change these fucking names. But
Yeah.
the brawl out was between CM Punk, that guy, his friend Ace Steel, and the EVPs like Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Adam Page, which I think Adam Page was part. I don't know if he was part of it, but I know it's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks for sure.
Yeah. Hangman, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and this is exactly what I was thinking too. Like this is the same shit like between CM Punk and Jack Perry. And after I read this, I was just like, all I can do is sigh, man. It's you ever have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
I've seen an episode. I wasn't really feeling it. I'm not really into it.
There's an episode with Katy Perry that she's dating Neil Patrick Harris because Neil
Hmm.
Patrick Harris plays like a playboy, whatever.
Hmm.
And they called her Honey because they didn't know what her real name is. But whenever she tells stories, she makes really dumb decisions. She just goes, "Oh, honey," like why did you do that? Oh, honey. So they called her Honey because she was a stupid idiot. And that's how I feel about AEW sometimes whenever we report it, shit like this,
Hmm.
that it just makes me sigh and I just go, oh, honey.
I wish though that unlike, they tried to turn the CM Punk Jack Perry shit into an angle or into views and it didn't work out. I feel like this could maybe work out, but they're gonna find a way to screw it up if they did try to make it, real, like a Riddle Seth Rollins hating each other type thing. They just always screw up things when they try to turn them into storylines or
Mm-hmm.
profit from them, you know?
Yeah, I agree. This could be something, but knowing them, it's probably not going to be anything. But quick question: what do you think if you were caught in this situation? Like, say if you were Tony Khan and then you had to punish MJF, what would you like? Would you fine him or would you suspend him? Like, what would you do?
Yeah, I'd probably find him. Like, hey man, like maybe make him sign like a, hey, don't do that again sort of training, like to be a better person,
Anger management or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
something like that, but or for them like to talk to him before, going to the women's locker room and addressing it themselves rather than,
Mm-hmm.
addressing it to Tony Khan first, because that's just kind of disrespectful too. That MJF like tried to. I get it. He's all heated up. He's trying to be a macho for his girl, and go and handle it himself. But it's you're going and you're handling it like it's not like he's going to Adam Cole and like, hey, handle your bitch. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to Britt Baker. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna punch her? You're gonna, what are you gonna do that's gonna make you look like more of a man?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. And two, it's like she could have just gone. It's like when I think about it, she could have just gone to Tony
Mm-hmm.
and just like express their frustrations. But I feel like that would have gotten more out of hand because from what I read is that her and Tony are like really really close because Tony Khan wants to be fucking friends with everybody
Mm-hmm.
and that they're really close. That's why she never really gets in trouble. But it's like I feel like if she was to have gone to Tony, it would have escalated more stuff because I know like Tony Khan and MJF like they've been fucking bumping heads too in the past. And I don't know, it might have just like reignited more shit and it would have just been like uncontrollable.
That's probably why MJF didn't want to go to Tony Khan first because he probably knew he would take Britt Baker's side or something. Like, nah, Adam Cole's my homie. We play Halo together or something. Nah, I don't know. If they are
No,
still together, there's rumors of that too, of them not being together anymore.
I know, man. I was like, man, at least Adam Cole has more time to play Halo Combat Evolved on the PC.
The definitive way to play it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And again, it just cringes me out whenever I hear stories like about Britt Baker. I'm just like, this is just like high school drama,
Hmm.
and it's just you're 30 something, dude. Like you have a cheerleader attitude. I don't get it. I really don't understand. It really makes my eyelids twitch.
I mean, I get it for wrestling, but it's like, dude, I don't want to be like, because I like Britt Baker, I do,
Me
but
too.
I don't want to sound like the your old news. Like you haven't done anything in forever. There's so many other women that are like better than you, that are getting less attention, and then you have obviously Tony Khan's most recent grab, which is Mercedes Monet. So like, really you can't bitch your way up to the top. You know what I mean?
And it makes it also like their match at what is it, All In that they're trying to do between her and Monet.
Hmm.
I want it to be good. I really do want it to be good, but I feel like with all this drama that's going in between everybody, I feel like it's gonna be like a shoot thing. But I still kind of want to see it.
But I don't know about a woman's shoot match being any good. Like, are they just gonna slap each other and uh pull each other's hair out? Like, what's gonna happen that in a man shoot match is like, you want to shoot, brother? You want to shoot? So work or shoot.
Dance for me, boy.
I don't know if it'll make the match any better. You know what I mean?
That's my same thought too.
Hmm.
But I still kind of want to watch it though. It's like a car
Yeah.
crash; you can't turn away.
Well, there's other rumors coming out here that after all that, it says Britt Baker accused of driving Cody Rhodes out of AEW. That's all it says here. Britt Baker accused of driving Cody Rhodes out of AEW. Let's look at this other thing here. One of the reasons that Cody left AEW, amongst many, was there was problems between Brandy and Britt. Tony always takes her side. You'll find out one day. This is Conan saying that. Do you believe that too? With all these other accusations coming out about Britt.
I don't want to, but I wouldn't put it past her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I remember reading this too. I don't think I sent this to you, right? I think we probably just both like came across on the timeline.
Probably.
But yeah, I read this and I'm just like, damn, bro, like why is everything so problematic over there, man? It doesn't have to be. Not saying like WWE's perfect, like they got their issues too. But I feel like this is just the norm over there. Like you'll be surprised if there was just good news coming out from backstage.
And isn't Kenny Omega in charge of the women's division, or do I remember mishearing that? Because I know Riho would always like win the belt, and she was a big like Kenny Omega would always be big for her. Riho was so tiny.
She was so tiny, dude.
She
I
still
thought she was
is.
gonna get murdered.
I don't know why I felt like he was in charge of the women's division, Kenny Omega.
I'm not too sure if that's true, but I wouldn't put it past that being the truth because he is an EVP.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. My eyelids twitching. I need more potassium.
I'm telling you, we do have some other news here. Or what? Is there any other follow ups to Britt Baker being mean
No, man.
mean
I'm
girl?
just looking in the distance and I see my fucking signed Britt Baker thing, like picture, and
Hmm.
it just makes me. that, that's it.
I have a Britt Baker figurine. I'll wait till she gets out of there and gets put in WWE somewhere in
Dang, let me know
NXT.
next time if she's at a convention. I'll go. I'll pick up the figure for you so you can get sign it.
Well, she's gonna end up in Ring of Honor if this keeps up.
Damn, I know. She better blade on the figure too. Make it worth more money.
We have some news here. WWE has discussed taping WWE Raw on Sundays following their international PLEs to allow talent more time to recover rather than rushing back to the US to film Raw. It should be noted that this idea is not approved or cleared yet. Source is PWN. I don't know. What do you think about this? About Raw taping on Sundays?
This is only well. The thought is it's only for international PLEs, right?
Yeah, where it's a big jet lag sort of time.
Oh
Time would
man,
fuck them up.
dude, have you ever been on a plane before?
Fuck no.
No.
If God wanted us to fly, He'd given us wings. I tell you what.
I was about to cry after you said that, man. That was inspirational. You're right,
No, it's my fear. I would not want to get on a plane.
dude. It's kind of nice getting on a plane, man. Besides, like the amount of people. Uh, jet lag fucking sucks. I've only been on a plane once, which it's very how do you say, like it's not as problematic compared to like driving or
Hmm.
like taking a Greyhound to go from one place to another. It's convenient. It's super convenient.
Hmm.
But damn, dude, that jet lag fucked me up. Like I remember we were flying from here to Colorado, right? And from San Antonio to Denver, it's 2.5 hours. But if we were to drive, it would have been 12 hours driving. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's fly. So we flew over there, and then we touched down. So it's like we left here, say like 8 o'clock. We get there like 10:30, and our flight's at 12:30. But the thing is, it's an hour back.
Hmm.
So instead of landing there at 10:30, it switched to 9:30. So instead of waiting 2 hours to our next flight, we had to wait 3 hours to our next flight. And like I'm just there, like fucking like tweaking out because I'm trying to stay up. Because I should be excited, but I don't want to drink coffee because it hurts my tummy. My tummy real sensitive.
Hmm. Hmm.
But man, dude, it sucks. But I can't imagine like if you were to go to another country where it's like 10+ hour difference compared to the
Dude.
U.S. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine that either. And they're doing it like, I mean, it's better now that they're doing the PLEs on Saturdays so that they have that extra day and then Raws on Monday. But still, yeah, it'd be pretty cool for them to film a little bit extra there in the country to give them more of an extra of the show as well, you know?
Yeah, because they really have. Well, when under Vince, they really had shows like outside of the U.S. instead of like the U.K. Probably.
Hmm.
Like that's the only. Well, it's not a country, but that's the only place that they go to other than the U.S. But it's just weird, like recording a Raw on a Monday. I mean, on a Sunday. Like that
Yeah,
doesn't
that would
sound
be weird.
that doesn't sound right. Sunday Night Raw.
Well, it would still show on Monday. They're just recording it on Sunday, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, man. My nose is all dripping. I'm pretty cool with this happening there to do more international PLEs, man. I mean, if it benefits them, like I'm all for it.
I think it would benefit them a lot too, as far as like the time, but then also those crowds get pretty hot too. Like, so for a Raw or a SmackDown, and they're like all rowdy, hyped and shit because they're always all overhyped. Those international crowds, I think
Hmm.
it'd be a win-win, for them, and they could take an extra break up until what Friday when they do a SmackDown or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. That's they probably have like house shows, but I hear like house shows are like super lenient.
Hmm.
Like, no, like they're not recording at house shows, not unless it's like backstage footage. But at house shows, it's like super fucking lenient. Like they can fuck around with the fans, or they could, just do whatever they want. They don't have to go like all crazy, put on like a fucking match of the year thing.
No, I think this was a win-win. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, if they decide to go with it, man, I feel like that's a good idea. Like it'll
The
be
only,
better for the health of the performers too.
the only thing that would suck is shit leaking, like with the fans recording on their phones, and
Oh
then
man,
that's
yeah,
the only thing. The shit, like, because that happens a lot with AEW when they record what Rampage is it?
yeah, Rampage, yeah,
They
yeah,
record all that shit in one day, and then you see that stuff before it happens, and you're like, oh well, okay, that's fucking. I mean, now I don't think anyone records it just because it's not event. Tony Khan used to have surprise after surprise after surprise, and now it's like, it's no big deal anymore. Nothing
yeah.
really gets released. But that's the only thing I could think about, is it ruining the surprise for people if they're recording and letting it out.
Yeah, I know WWE recently they started doing that too. Like when they have PLEs in other countries, they'll record SmackDown over there. Like it'll be live over there, but then that evening it will show here in the US. But
Mm.
since it's live over there, if it's happening live over there, people are tweeting about it. And I'll
Hmm.
see spoilers for SmackDown like on my phone. And then later that night I'll be watching SmackDown and sure enough it's whatever got spoiled for me, so I'm not like as excited.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would hate about it, is spoilers, because
Yeah, but that's
people love spoiling shit now.
oh dude, I know. Later today I'm gonna go see Wolverine and Deadpool.
You
And
haven't seen the whole thing online already?
dude, no, I try to skip past it. Like if I see Deadpool Wolverine, I skip past it because I don't want to
Hmm.
see anything. But I
Hmm.
have a friend that's seen the movie 3 times already, and he'll post like, "Oh, how I feel right now," and then post a picture of spoiler alert for. Well, do you care? Have you seen the movie?
I
Or
don't
you've seen
care.
spoilers,
Oh,
right?
I've seen spoilers.
Spoiler alert for Deadpool Wolverine. He posts a picture of like, oh, how I feel right now, and it's a picture of Channing Tatum, like as Gambit, and
Yeah.
then there's Wesley Snipes, and I'm just like, what the fuck, Wesley Snipes is in this movie? Damn it, I was trying to avoid this shit. This is
Hmm.
what I wanted to avoid. But I feel like I'm more like that with movies I want to see than I am with wrestling.
Yeah, and like, I got over that a long time ago. I remember I used to remember with The Walking Dead, that was a big spoiler thing on Facebook back in my
Oh
day,
man.
and that would really piss me off. But now I'm pretty, like, I don't care. Like, I'm as lenient as can be, but
Mhm.
it's like you gotta completely turn yourself off from the internet if you're gonna really not want to be spoiled of anything. You know what
And
I
it's
mean?
hard. It's
It
hard,
is.
especially with like how like deep in we are into our phones and everything.
Hmm.
I think not. Yeah, I think it was last year. I remember I worked night one of night one of WrestleMania 39, and I remember I was at one spot on the line, and I would just look at my watch and think, "Fuck, man, it just started. Fuck, it's halfway through." And then I'll go on break, and I'll just sit there, just watching TV. I'm trying not to fuck with my phone. And I go home, and like the pay per view finished, but they don't upload the pay per view until 1 hour after it finished. So I
Bullshit.
watched it at midnight, and I watched all 4 hours. Like me and Giselle, she went to bed halfway through, and I watched the rest of it up until like fucking 4 in the morning. I was tired, but I think that was the most proud I've ever been of myself.
Yeah, to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, man, I'm over there like piles of sand nuggets under my eyes, just nothing but bags and stuff. It was ridiculous.
No, sometimes you got to, and I don't know. Like, yeah, like I said, I've probably seen already the whole Deadpool Wolverine movie without even trying to like look for it. It's just popped up on my feed, bits and pieces of
Oh,
it.
man. Yeah, that's the one movie I like. The first movie in a really long time. Like I want to see, but I try to avoid as much. But it's like, oh, here's one thing you want to see, just a little tease. Here's everybody that fucking cameos in the movie, and that's what pissed me off.
Well, you could call us old school because that segues into our opinion about the Undertaker. Speaking about the biggest issue with social media, because I know right now we were boomers talking about how social media fucks with things. Here's the Undertaker. I think that's the biggest issue with social media is that we all have that right to have our own opinion and we don't have to agree with it. And I'm not gonna, if I say something you don't agree with, I'm not, no offense, gonna lose any sleep over it. I think people are just way too sensitive today. We as people have to be a little more sensitive, but I think it's gone way over the top. And this is from the Impulsive podcast. What do you think of the Undertaker, Mark Calloway's comments about people being sensitive?
I'm offended.
As you should be.
I'm offended. He's a misogynistic pig. He supports the military. He's not really a dead man. No, I agree with him 100%, dude. And I feel like we talk about this all the fucking time too.
Hmm.
How just like no matter what you put online, like people are just gonna be insensitive about stuff. I mean, I know people have been insensitive like to your stuff from That's All Funny. Me, I think it's fucking funny, man. Like some of the shit you post, like it's great, dude. But it's like that's just comedy in general. Like it has to be pursued from dark times. It's like, maybe it's a dark time that happened in your life, but now when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, like that's funny. Like that was funny that happened.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of like as far as jokes go, like that's how you usually try to think of it. At least to me, is like, oh yeah, that's the way I cope or whatever. But as far as Mark being with Mark the Undertaker, I don't know him personally, right? The Undertaker being with social media, I guess I don't know if he means like when obviously when people say something because he would say like, oh, the wrestlers are too soft, or even the storylines like now the storyline with Liv Morgan and Dominic, and people are like, oh, it's too risque or it's too attitude era. But I don't know, like to me it's just it's a show. Like if it offends you, just don't watch it or turn it off.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like social media has given people too much power. And like, you're free to say like whatever you want. Like, but people don't understand that there's repercussions to what you say.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, you have freedom of speech, but sometimes the shit you say, it's like that it'll get you in trouble. Like people have the right to, defend themselves for the most part. Uh, you know, if you have consequences where it actually like, did I whistle? Oh my god. Now I'm offended that there's repercussions. Like, someone could go on like a fucking 10-minute hate-filled rant, and then they get mad because they get arrested for it. Like, oh, I thought this was America. I thought this was freedom of speech. Like, and I think that's the cringiest shit where like people just don't understand. Like, no matter what, there's someone that's gonna disagree with you because it's the internet. There's
Hmm.
billions of people on it, billions of people on it.
Hmm.
It's perfectly fine. It just depends on how you take in that information, and if you want to keep on going at it or just like, oh, whatever, like I'm mad about this and block them.
There's a line in the sand. Like, and then you have to try to, it's the golden rule. Like, treat others the way you want to be treated. Like, post something if you wouldn't mind it being posted against you.
Hmm.
That's the way I look at it. And there's some people who try to be, chaos for the sake of being chaos, or edgy or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know the way um the Undertaker is saying it's him being himself. Like it's not like him trying to push any envelopes or push any buttons if he thinks people are offended by him. It's just him literally being himself. Like this is the person
Hmm.
I've been forever. Kind of like Ric Flair too. Like, oh, he can't be saying that shit about having sex with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. And it's like, dude,
Hmm.
that's how he's been his whole life. Like why do you hate it now if that's literally the character the person that he's been for years. You know.
hmm And I'm pretty sure under this post, there's people complaining about Undertaker saying this too.
Let's see. People are way into wrestlers' business nowadays, not liking wrestlers' work because of an opinion is too far. All y'all saying exactly, but almost have a meltdown over a Chris Jericho retweet.
Hey, that's absolutely true, dude.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Man,
true.
and like when it comes to like politics, I don't really talk politics, but I know like I'll just say it now. Like back in like 2016, it's like most people, well, not most people. I didn't like care for Trump because I just thought he was a fucking idiot. And I forgot who do you, oh, but I was like, man, I'm not gonna vote for Hillary Clinton. Like, it's just like
Yeah.
lesser, like it's the lesser of two evils. It's like,
Yeah.
and I just threw my vote away. That's all I'm gonna say. I threw my vote away. But then now, especially like these last like 8 years, I have like just toned out of politics, man, because that's like everybody's livelihood now. And it's just getting to the point where I'm just like, it's the lesser of two evils that I'm voting for. And it's just kind of hilarious, like some of the shit says. Like, I have friends, I have family that are Trump supporters, like people I love, but I'm not gonna let their political opinions or their status like alter my opinion on them as a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people can believe whatever they want to believe. If people are gonna get offended, they're gonna get offended. Like, yeah, if you say something over the top, like, yeah, people are gonna fucking say shit at you. But for the most part, they're like some of the coolest people I fucking know and I love. So now, when it comes to politics, I'm just like, I just don't care, man. It's like not really. People are gonna bitch about it online. People are gonna complain no matter what. They're gonna have a stance, but I feel like nothing's gonna really get done about it unless someone actually takes a step up to do something about it.
Yeah. It's all about separating the person from their opinions, and it's like you could still care about someone and not agree with them, as well as like with even like the Undertaker saying, or that whole Chris Jericho thing. If you're gonna critique him about his wrestling, don't start with, well, his political views. Like, who cares? That doesn't necessarily translate to his wrestling ability. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, don't let that be like, well, I'm critical of his wrestling ability because of who he votes for. And it's like, that has nothing to do with A, has nothing to do with B. What are you talking about? You know?
like he doesn't even seem like a bad person. Like in general, he seems like really chill for the most part. And I remember, and oh my god, it's the thing with wrestling fans too. And since we started doing this podcast, I've been looking for like more wrestling news so we could talk about it. And my For You page on X has been some of the most toxic shit I've ever seen in my life. Mainly
Yeah.
because it's just people bitching and complaining where I'm just like, oh my god, give me a fucking break. Give me a break. Like, whatever. And it's like, I feel like every other tweet, it's like, oh, I think it's time to talk about Cody Rhodes being WWE champion. It's like, my dude, he just won it back in April. Like, give him a break. Or what was it? I don't know if we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago, but that people were talking about the SummerSlam card because they said there was no black wrestlers on it.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, like, are we not going to talk about Triple H being a racist? It's like, my guy, he has Nia Jax on there. He has Solo Sokoa. He has Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Bailey. Like, it's just people of different ethnicities and different cultures that are taking part of the show. But just because like a wrestler's not black isn't on the show, like you're upset about it because it doesn't fit your agenda and what you're trying
Yeah.
to like what you're trying to like put out there. But when you're trying to make it a bigger deal than what it is, that's what's cringy. That's what I'm just like, oh my god, give me a fucking break. This is ridiculous.
And it's ridiculous on both sides too. Like when
hmm
people say, oh, there's not enough black people, or oh, there's too many black people, or like I've been following the video game space where they're like, or Star Wars, oh, there's too much woke stuff in Star Wars.
hmm
It's not, and it's like, well, where's the balance? Like, people are always going to be annoyed or offended or displeased, and I think they just like the negativity because it. I don't know. I feel like negativity brings people together more than positivity. You know, they'd rather
Mhm.
bitch about it because it gives them something to talk about rather than, oh, I like it. Like that's it. You know.
Yeah,
End of
exactly.
story.
Like for example, I was just watching a video about Mortal Kombat X. I don't know if you ever played X. Have you?
I'm sure I have.
That was the one where they released a bunch of like newer characters like on the roster. It was like kids from like the main characters. But I remember before this game came out, there was this character named Kung Jin, I think, and he was like the first gay character on the Mortal Kombat roster ever. And people were just making a big fucking deal about it, like, oh, like trying to be woke and stuff. And legit, I forgot who he's supposed to be related to, but in the story mode, he's talking to Raiden, and then he goes, "No one's able to accept me," and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. And Raiden tells him, it's not what you do with your heart. The elder gods will only see what you do with your heart, but not who your heart belongs to.
Mm.
That's the only time they acknowledge it in the game, and then he gets fucking split in half because of fucking fatality. That's my guy. Like, I'm only here for the blood and gore and the fucking fights. Like, I don't care if he's gay or not. It's and it was just like that one little snippet that they put in the show. I mean, in the game where it's like they acknowledge about his sexuality,
hmm
and I was just flabbergasted. Like, people are making such a big deal about this. It's not as big as it is. Like, literally, if you never pointed that out, that shit would have just went over my head because I'm just a fan of the game. That's why I want to play. But people are still gonna be constantly bitching about stupid shit like that, especially when it comes to wrestling. Like we say, like the wrestlers' political views, like their stance on like current events. It's like
hmm
I don't care what they are, not unless like they talk shit about fans or they did something really 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 fucking bad. But if you talk shit about the Undertaker, who's just like, oh yeah, I support the military, like I like he's Republican probably, or like he supports the police, like okay, but I just love him as a wrestler. Like he's good as a wrestler.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he hasn't done anything bad. He seems like a great family man, like to his daughter. He seems like a good figure in the locker room, like to where the current roster could go up to him, ask for advice, and he gives advice to them. But like, what else? What else are you? What else are you trying to fucking bitch about? I don't understand. And you're still not gonna be happy.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like the controversy is what gives them like more attention. You know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's they'd rather bitch about it other than just saying like, "Oh no, I'm fine with it. He's still cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite." Like, because that's less clicks or less attention. I don't know.
Oh man,
People just like to be negative. You know.
I know, man. It's like, and I'm scared, like what the future generation is gonna be like. If it's just gonna be another, I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be like the new norm, where just people are just gonna be so offended at whatever you do. And it sucks because it's like I don't want to be walking on thin ice for the rest of my life just because you find something offensive, but I find it funny. I don't know.
No, I think that is how it's going to be. Though we're walking on eggshells and thin ice, and we have. I don't know. We don't have to get into all that. That's a whole other subject about
Yeah,
living like that. You know, with the UK and all that policing
live it
social
like
media.
Larry.
But what we can get into is the Undertaker ad. Now, GQ confirms that there will be a release of Bloodline branded sneakers in 2025. In April, Roman Reigns announced a partnership with Jordan Brand that will see the release of Bloodline branded sneakers beginning in 2025. Um,
Ooh.
what do you think about this? Because I don't know. I don't think I've ever bought a pair of Jordan Brand sneakers. Have you ever bought a Jordan Brand?
I don't think so. I don't think I have because usually it's just like Nike or whatever I find nice.
hmm Yeah, I bought a pair of Nike. I don't remember were they Air Force. ones or something like that, and
Mhm.
I like them, for work and stuff. But then it gets to a point where like I had to start buying like because we would work around a lot of cold and wet areas, so
Mhm.
I had to start buying like shoes that were good for waterproof areas like snowshoes and shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't really go for style. I went for function and like just comfort, But what about you?
I like buying shoes. I'm not a sneakerhead. I'm not really that big into the sneaker community. I respect it, but sneakers can get so freaking expensive. I think
Yeah,
the most I spent on a pair of shoes was probably like $180 on a
I'm
pair of
I'm
shoes.
I'm about the same there, but I think the last pair of shoes I had bought were like for work, and they were Vans, but they were like snowshoes, like the ones that
Hmm.
you could wear like in slippery areas so they wouldn't slip, and they were just like designed to wear in snow. So
Hmm.
they were like real comfy but expensive because of that extra shit, waterproof because all the fucking leakage and shit we'd have to deal with.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. My
Hmm.
my current job now, they actually give us. They had this shoe company come to us, and we get a free pair of shoes up to $100.
Hmm.
And so I got like these, man. They're in the other room, but they're slip resistant. They're like composite toe, so it's like nothing fucking runs over my toes,
Hell yeah.
and they're pretty good grip. But I think they're Adidas, but they look real nice though. It's like orange soles, and they have like a gray finish with a bunch of black dots all over it. It's kind of like a nice style. But those are the only ones I use for work. Like I'm not gonna take those outside. Like what am I, a loser?
All day I dream about sex ed all day. I dream about sex, yeah, all day.
I dream about safety all day. I dream about safety. But I have like two other pairs of shoes that I have currently. It's a pair of Nike Air Maxes. They're like a red and silver. And then I have another pair of Nikes that are just like a black mesh, like super light shoes. I use those for whenever I go walking or if I'm gonna go play basketball or do exercises or stuff because they're super light on my feet and they're super comfortable. And usually when I buy a pair of shoes, like they'll last me years. I'll make them last. I will make them last.
You know what? I'm lying. I did buy an expensive pair of shoes, some Yeezys. I know. I
Oh,
know.
you
I
buy
bought.
Yeezys?
Yeah, and this is because shout out to Leo, our buddy Leo,
Oh,
wherever he
Leo!
may
Shout out to
be at.
Leo.
He had, when you I don't know what you do. You like try to randomly get a ticket to get some Yeezys, and it's like a random where
Oh, raffle.
yeah, it's like a raffle where if you get the ticket, you can purchase the shoes, or it
Yes.
automatically does it. And so his chick and him had both done it, and they both got chosen. So he accidentally got two pairs of the same shoes,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Fuck, what do I do?" Because now I'm stuck with two pairs of shoes. And I'm like, "Well, how much are they? What size are they?" And they happen to be my size, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll take them." And so it was during a point where I had like money to blow, and
Hmm.
so I still have those Yeezys. They're kind of tearing up, worn out, but I still wear them like to the store just to. I look like shit everywhere else, but I'm wearing like $200, $300 Yeezys.
Hey man, you gotta have that mindset. That's what most billionaires look like. They look
Yeah.
poor, but they got those blue suede shoes on, man.
Hmm.
So,
No,
if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for those shoes? Like off
I,
of
w-
Leo?
I don't know if they were 250 or 400. They might have been 400. They might have been.
Holy shit, dude! Are those the
Yeah.
ones that they look all bulky? The
No,
Yeezys?
they look like slippers, and then they were like skin colored, like a tan.
Uh
Like
huh.
they're nice. I just I wouldn't spend that much money on shoes like that if it wasn't like, oh man, like I got two pair. You know what I mean? He was like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, I'll take them. Like I have the money right now. They're my size.
Yeah, like if you have the money for it, like by all means, go for it.
Yeah, I thought it was
Uh,
funny to just own a pair of Yeezys.
they look like
Yeah, that
the
top. Yeah, that top. No, the one with the guy with the hand.
this
Yeah,
one.
that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the fucking ugly ass shoes, the foam ones that look like that.
No, no, I wouldn't pay for those. Those ones look fucking like Crocs melted together and shit.
Dude, do you have Crocs?
I've always hated the idea of Crocs, but getting older now, I kind of want a pair just because I'm older, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they would be of more use to me because I do have some. I've always hated flip flops, and
Mm-hmm.
now I have flip flops, and I wear them like a lot. So yeah,
Let me tell you, man. I was once. Never mind. I fucked
once.
that up. I was I was once a disbeliever of Crocs because I thought they were the ugliest fucking thing.
Hmm.
And then one time I bought myself a pair, and it just changed my life forever. Like I will go to the store in Crocs now. I will drive in Crocs. I will wear them around the house. But you got to make sure you get the ones that are just like the rubber inside. Don't get the ones with like the fuzzy
Oh
because
no, no.
yeah, the ones with the fuzzy don't make your feet sweat like really really fast. But dude, Crocs are like super comfortable and they're super convenient too. And like they have that little latch on the side, like on
Hmm.
top, to where you could have that up on top, or when you put them, you bring them down and put your foot in, and they wrap around your heel, so that way they won't slip off. Like they call it, I call it sports mode, so that way I could go run after somebody. But no, dude, they were super comfortable, and I'm the fucking idiot that buys the Croc charms. So mine are covered in like a Bill Miller's one, a Bucky's one. It
Oh
has like
lord.
a Rowlet on it. Like I'm just a sucker for it, man. I'm a believer. And Giselle was a disbeliever too until she tried on my pair. And now she tries on my new pairs because they're actually like her size. And she's like, the other ones are too big. And I was like, you shouldn't have stole them from me.
That's what you get. And
Nah, 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 nah.
you just go well, you walk very, 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 very far away and just punch a wall.
Right? Like, oh, I want my Crocs back. Yeah,
No,
but like, oh,
I'm
go ahead.
getting to that point. I'm getting to that point where I would watch commercials of those people shoes that put themselves on. You don't need to bend over uh for
Oh, like
old
from Back to the
people.
Future.
Yeah, they put themselves onto your feet. You don't need to bend over. And I'm all, why would people buy that? That's stupid. And now I'm bending over, putting on my shoe, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so tiring. Why can't it just do it itself?
I know that I'm just there. Like, I come back over and I just, whew, man,
Yeah.
that was tough. Like, pat myself on the back. But like with Crocs, like back on Crocs, they have a bunch of collaborations of Crocs with anime that I watch, and they some of them are really cool fucking designs. Like I know they have some with like Demon Slayer, and I think they have like Dragon Ball Z ones as well. I think I would like to see Crocs that are like wrestling based too. Like that'd be cool.
I
Like
wouldn't doubt it.
I would probably buy myself a pair of shoes like if they're Bloodline. Because I know Roman Reigns wore some like the first ever ones like wrestling boots that were sponsored
Hmm.
with Jordan, and they were just all they were just like all black with like the red Jordan symbol like that was stitched on there. But they look slick, and I like wearing like black shoes because they pretty much match with anything anyway.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. They don't get as dirty as quick.
Yeah, and if they do, they're just easier to wash. Like just wipe them off and shit like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well,
I
depending on how they look, I would buy some.
I probably wouldn't buy these just because they sound expensive. The over the counter ones and
Hmm.
the original tribal chief. Uh,
Yeah. So over the counter chief,
the over the counter chief.
over the counter Jordans. Do you ever watch those YouTube videos about the wrestlers that going to buy sneakers and they talk about sneakers?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They just done what, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I saw that one recently. He bought a Travis Scott pair, I think, and they were like $4,000.
I saw that, dude. He bought a bunch of shoes and yeah, that one pair, and I was like, dude, that's like three of my house payments or something. One shoe, like it's
Dude, for
ridiculous.
$4,000, it's like I'll see that in like fucking 2 months. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. And you just spent out a fucking pair of shoes. I need to pay rent, my guy. I'm sorry.
Dude, for real. I was just like, that's too much. That makes me that hurts a little. That hurts a
Uh,
little. I don't know. I don't know if I could be on your side. telling your story.
Whoa! And two, like he spent like almost $9,000 on shoes, and I think he said that he still wasn't the top one because Liv Morgan was probably number one. So assuming her, she probably spent over like 10,000 at least on shoes.
Fucking women and women in their shoes. I swear.
And I bet you Dominic got like chicken tenders on the side from that too.
The dinosaur shaped ones.
Hell yeah, Dino Nuggies because autism.
Speaking of, no, I don't know the CW and autism. Randy Orton is confirmed for the NXT episode that is going head to head with AEW Dynamite title Tuesday. And this, like says here, for immediate release, NXT kicks off the CW era with arena shows in Chicago and St. Louis. Live from Allstate Arena with CM Punk in Chicago on Tuesday, October 1st, and Enterprise Center with Randy Orton in St. Louis on Tuesday, October 8th. What do you think about this? About the NXT going head to head with
That's cool, man. With on CW too, that's fucking cool. Cause I think CW you can watch that on regular TV, right? You don't have you don't need cable to watch it.
I'm not sure. I know they have an app, CW, because I would watch The Flash the next day on their app
Mm-hmm.
when I was really into The Flash, and I like would stay up till 2 a.m. to watch like the episode so it wouldn't get spoiled for me.
Huh.
Uh, but that's throwback to what we were talking about spoilers. But what do you think of them just using like a random star? What are they doing? Using like hometown stars, right? Because they got CM Punk in Chicago and Randy Orton in Ortonsville. I don't know where he's
Yeah.
from.
Hello, St. Louis. Oh, actually, we're in Springfield. Oh man, I
I
love The Simpsons.
I mean, especially if they have Joe Hendry and all that now, I don't see how AEW can compete, unless Orange Cassidy wants to do a 6 match gauntlet and go through the whole Dynamite.
Just because it's a random Tuesday, you know. Yeah, because I
No.
know the reason why we're reporting this too, because I think I said to you that it was going head to head with AEW on both nights, I believe.
Hmm.
And a lot of people say like, "Oh, like why is NXT having to do all this? Like I thought AEW was in competition. I thought AEW was in competition. May I take your hat, sir? May I take your hat, sir?" Man,
I
that's the
mean,
thing. Oh
AEW
man.
can do whatever. WWE can do whatever they want. I mean, I feel like AEW knows it's competition because when there was a PLE on Saturday, the same time as Collision at SummerSlam, they changed their AEW Collision time to be our special time starting at 6. No, when at like 4 p.m.
Yeah, it was like at 4. It was in the afternoon, and I
Yeah, it was
remember
real
because
early.
I would see gifs. Like there's this account that I follow that they post gifs from like snippets of AEW, and I remember just seeing them like at 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. like in the afternoon, and I was like, "It's
Mhm.
on right now," and I just see like Kristen Cage, uh, what's his name? The fucking kid and Kill Switch, like they became the new trios champions. I think. I don't know.
Mhm.
They're new champions of fucking something. One of their 25 belts.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, what the fuck? Like they're showing it right now, but it's like I understand. Like SummerSlam's happening. You know they don't want to compete and like get low numbers.
Hmm.
But I think that sucks too because it's like I didn't know they were doing a special airtime at like 3 in the afternoon. That's weird.
Well, it's the fact that they know they're in competition, and they know they can't win. Otherwise, they would have aired it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
why are they switching their times to a rowdy earlier time? If they don't feel like there is this competition, and then when WWE wants to air at the same time as Collision, people are like, "Well, why does it think it's competition?" And it's like, dude, the AEW knows. Like, I don't know. Like,
Do you remember? Man, I think it was like 2019 between 2019 and 2021 when they moved NXT to Wednesday nights because
Vaguely.
NXT would be Tuesdays and AEW would be Wednesdays. But this was like when Vince McMahon was under the regime too, but Triple H still ran NXT. That they moved NXT to Wednesday nights to obviously compete with AEW because at the time, dude, AEW, like you couldn't fucking touch it. Like it was just like good wrestling, something different, like a new alternative, right?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
they couldn't do no wrong. And just for like the longest time, you just see people retweeting Meltzer and seeing like the different um viewerships for each show. And they called it like, oh, it's the Wednesday Night Wars, whatever. Like, because it's AEW versus NXT. Like WWE scared. They interviewed Triple H and they're like, oh, like congrats to AEW that they're competing with our second rate show. Like,
Yeah.
good to them. And people were talking shit about Triple H. They're like, oh, like why do you have like the top indie stars on your show if it's second rate? Why is it that you're putting on title matches? Like, just trying to find something to bitch about.
Hmm.
And I think eventually um that got stopped because NXT got moved to USA. No, they got moved to USA from the network. And they changed it to NXT 2.0, and that's when they introduced Braun Breaker. They were trying to make him a star, and it was very like entertainment based instead of like actual like performer based, like
Hmm.
the in ring wrestling. And that's what turned me off from it. I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like this kind of sucks. Like I'm not into it." But now NXT is trying to do like a mixture of the two, but more in ring basis, like top quality now, which is good because it's like that's what I missed about NXT. Because there's a period like I just didn't watch it. I didn't know anything about Braun Breaker. I didn't know anything about like Chase U, Carmella Hayes, Trick Williams, Tiffany Stratton, where she was part over there, Cora Jade. Like it just went over my head. And then now I try to keep up with it because obviously we talk about wrestling, but I feel like they're trying to get back into the roots of stuff. Like whenever they do PLEs now, it's been some pretty good stuff. The last one they had, which was I think was Heat Wave. I think when we
Yeah.
talked about it,
Yeah. It was pretty good.
man, dude, yeah, it was super good. Like the
Hmm.
tag match they had, Obafemi, Obafemi, like that's all you need. You just need Obafemi. But it's when I see this, I don't think it's mainly like WWE is scared of AEW, which I think that's just like a stupid fucking argument now. I just believe they're transitioning from USA to CW and they want to put major stars on there to get good numbers to bring in like new viewers like like this is the show you want to be watching because we're on a new network like we want to get fans to be interested in this and they want to do good numbers. That's all I think it is.
Yeah, and I don't see. I mean, they're all under the same umbrella. It's not like they're bending like a bunch of rules to bring Randy Orton over here. It's like, hey, can you come over here? Yeah, it's the same umbrella, and it's in his own hometown. Like, why wouldn't he want to just show up or do something? And I don't know. I don't see. It's not like, oh, It's not you're grabbing Roman Reigns or and putting him on NXT, or you're putting like all your WWE stars on NXT. It's just like the hometown hero bringing him in just to like be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell? Like if AEW could do that too, they would, and they've done it. Like whenever they were in Boston and they signed Mercedes Mone, like
Mm-hmm.
they made this big deal. Like I don't know, like
Even when they were in Chicago, they brought CM Punk to debut in Chicago. Like it's
yeah.
fine. Like most companies do it. It's like even the indies do it when they release superstars and they
Hmm.
go to the indies. Like it's perfectly fine. But maybe maybe it's just for them to like get them to promote the show. But if you really want to do something, put them in a tag match like with one of your favorite, like with one of the top stars in NXT. Help them get the rub, like to make
Hmm.
them bigger stars when they debut on the main roster.
Yeah, but I don't see this as them taking a shot at AEW. It's just I don't know. It's just them bringing their hometown hero to the place that they are for NXT. They happen to be there. You know what I mean? Like it's their hometown. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like a random appearance. I don't know. It's making a mountain out of a molehill. Is as far as
Hmm.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what AEW does in response for both of those nights. Like they're probably gonna do something over the top. It's like if they decide to do something over the top, it's like I'm all for it. I just want them to do like the proper promotion for it, where they don't just wait till the day of or like a few days before to announce the card and like what they're gonna do.
Hmm.
Like
No,
just
they're all it's all last minute there. It feels like with AEW.
yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Speaking of shame, well, not shame, but it being a shame. We have Bryan Danielson saying about wrestling forever. I'm really walking back this idea of wrestling forever. And this is Bryan Danielson talking, or Daniel Bryan, whoever you want to say he is. I just don't think I can do it, and especially the style of wrestling, because this is what's kind of happened. Doctors have said, okay, we clear you to wrestle this kind of wrestling, and I can't stop myself from doing this kind of wrestling. I thought I'd be comfortable doing stuff like that, but it turns out that that's just not what I want. And the stuff that I think I want to do, I found so many things now that fulfill me. There's the family aspect of it, but even within the realm of wrestling, helping with younger talent, helping with creative, I really enjoy that. And this is Bryan Danielson, an interview with at WWE GP. What do you think about Bryan Danielson wanting to wrestle a certain way, but he can't wrestle that certain way?
People are just like that sometimes, man. Like, do you think it's a type of like hard headedness behind it? Where it's like your doctors say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this," but it's like you're gonna do this. I'm still gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a macho machismo. I mean, and he doesn't have to say that it's like that, like an alpha male type thing. It's
Hmm.
just him wanting to like be such a fucking like excitement to the crowd and wrestle the way he always has. And of course, he's been injured. Like he gets injured every fucking time he sneezes. So like he gets a concussion when he sneezes. So it's a shame that he can't wrestle the way that he always has. But all the bodies break down. So you have to either evolve with your ring style with your injuries, or
Hmm.
you have to call it quits early because he can't keep up with what he wants to do.
I think he does have a different wrestling style compared to like the majority of the AEW roster, which there's nothing wrong with it. Like Bryan
Mhm.
Danielson, he is probably one of, if not my favorite wrestler ever, probably. Well, he's up there with like CM Punk, maybe like at least top two, like definitely top two. And like he can wrestle his style and everything, where he just like beats the shit out of him, like slow, methodical, kind of like William Regal style, like like a bunch of grasps and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it's like when you do, it's like you hear about the injuries that happen in AEW, like concussion wise, like the stuff that happens with Moxley or like with his concussion, or when he got his fucking, was it him that got his foot stuck between the ring and the ramp, or was that
It was
Moxley?
no, it was Danielson. He did.
He did get his foot stuck and that hurt him. Ray Phoenix almost broke his arm. People just get concussed all the fucking time.
Hmm.
Like it's just more of like a safety concern. Like your doctor's like, dude, like you might get fucking rocked again, or you know, God forbid anything else bad happens to him. But it kind of makes me think that there's sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. That's what I think, because it's like you could tell, like with my grandma, may she rest in peace. She was a constant smoker, smoked a pack a day, and we would try to get her to stop smoking because the doctor wanted her to stop smoking,
Hmm.
and she just didn't want to because she was addicted. Like she smoked a pack a day, had to buy new packs every day. She switched new doctors, and the new doctors are like, oh, she's like 70, 75 years old. Like, what's the point of stopping her now? You know,
Hmm.
and like, just might as well just let her keep smoking. And I feel like too. maybe he has a mindset. It's like, oh, like I've been wrestling this way all my life. Like, why am I gonna stop now? But it's like, dude, like, God forbid if you break your fucking neck. Like, I think that's it, man.
Well, that's it. Is like you'll die, not like the end of your career. You know what I mean? Like it's the end of your life. I know my dad was the same way. Recently, he just got like a heart surgery done, like on his valves, and they said, oh, that kind of thing takes a good 6 weeks to 2 3 months to recover. And after 2 weeks, he was already like outside doing the things that he usually does. And it's like, hey,
Ugh.
they told you to calm down, and he's like, oh, I feel good, but then he'd be like, there'd be days where he'd be like, man, why am I so tired? It's like, well, you just had a major heart surgery, and they told you it would take so many. You know what I mean? Like it's almost a stubbornness.
Like
Uh,
pretends to be shocked. Like,
yeah, yeah, and that's the same. I feel like with Bryan Danielson, where he's like, "Yeah, man, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can." It's like, well, yeah, but you can't. Like, you got to be kind of like Sting, where you change your style or you are more cautious or something. You can't be doing your 120 mile per hour ring style or strength.
when you say change your style, like Sting, I just imagine him jumping from the balcony, jumping off of ladders, taking pile drivers, getting thrown through glass.
Exactly. Change your style.
Change your
Fucking
style, man.
don't care anymore.
Bryan Danielson should just do death matches from now on.
Yeah, exactly. Have a buddy with you, like what's his name? That will take all the rowdy bumps so you don't have to.
Oh, like Chris Jericho,
No, no, no. The little skinny kid. I don't know
the
why I can't
skinny.
remember his name.
Wheeler Yuta.
No, well he can. Have Wheeler Yuta take all the bumps for you, like
The
while
wait, Wayne, Nick Wayne. No, no, no.
you could have Nick
Uh,
Wayne too. He takes bumps.
oh, wait, which one? Which one are you
Darby
talking
Allen.
about?
Darby
Darby
Allen.
Allen. There you go.
There you
He
go.
does it.
Yeah.
He does it. He looks fine.
He's got a lot of years left in him, right?
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so.
Well, we do have here more Bryan Danielson talk. Bryan Danielson was asked if part of him regrets leaving WWE before Triple H took over creative, and if things changed when he was there, would he have stayed? No, not at all. No, I think how I view it is obviously things have changed for the better there substantially, but how I view it is number one, I've had an incredible time doing what I'm doing. There are a lot of people who, and I think I'm one of those people who prefer the style in AEW. It's more wrestling focused as opposed to the drama focused or whatever it is. But I like the idea there's an alternative. And one of the things I really put thought into what I wanted to do as far as leaving WWE, I was never somebody who disliked WWE. I've never tried to say anything bad about them. But one of the things I really wanted was to participate in this thing that makes wrestling industry better for everybody involved. And I think the fact that AEW exists is better for all of us. And that was the same interview. What do you think about his comments about WWE?
I kind of agree with him. I can see his reasoning behind it. It's like, I could go and like be like, oh, like, how we say like AEW is like shitty, whatever, even though we don't want to shit on it, but it's kind of like they shoot themselves in their own foot
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Foot.
A foot, a
Uh,
toot, Alicia, a foot,
Cinnamon, Alicia,
a
foot.
toot, a foot.
Like they shoot themselves in their own foot sometimes, and we always like talk shit about them or belittle them, whatever. But it's like devil's advocate there. Like he does make a good point. It is a good alternative, maybe for fans, for the wrestlers involved. Like they just want to do something more wrestling based. Um, I do agree with them. It's better for everybody.
Well, I think it's better for each like individual wrestler as far as like him for his own focus of him wanting to put on his type of matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, but it's not good that the I guess the metaphor is like the prisoners run
Oh,
the
the cell
prison.
block.
Yeah, like there's no one really in charge. So like yeah, he gets to put on his own match how he wants, and that's cool because he gets to decide, hey, I want to put on hour-long match or a half-hour-long match or this really tough match with whoever. There doesn't need to be a storyline or a booking, but then that's also kind of a bad thing because other wrestlers can kind of get away with that, and there's no drama to it like in WWE, but there's also no story, which kind of we're always like whenever we maybe recap an AEW Dynamite or a Collision, we're like, why did this match happen? What was the story behind it? And that's kind of like half the thing of booking, if not more. You know?
Hmm. Yeah, and an example too. I think this past Dynamite or this past Collision. I want to say Collision. 'Cause I think it happened last night. Strickland went on Collision, and he decided to do an open challenge match for his AEW World Championship, and it was against Tomohiro Ishii, and they had a good match. But like the logic behind it, it's like, why are you having open challenges 2 weeks before All In? Like,
Yeah,
you should be focused on your match with Danielson. Like, try to be promoting that match. You can have the wrestling match with Ishii, which is fucking awesome. That's pretty badass. But I don't understand how like the logic behind some of the booking. You
there
know,
isn't any.
yeah.
It's just them like, hey, this sounds like a good match. Let's put it together. And of course, some of that fantasy booking is cool. Like I said with Brian Danielson, uh, he gets to fight whoever he wants to and have a cool 6-star, 7-star Tokyo Dome match. But the story behind it, and then there's no story, and it doesn't really make sense. Where we're like, why did this match happen? You know?
Hmm. I'm looking something up right now because when we're talking about like just putting random matches together with no story, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if this has a story, but they're doing the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed for the tag team championship. Because honestly, I forgot the Young Bucks were the tag team champions. But this account that I follow, Humble Wrestling, they quoted the tweet from AEW, and they said this will be the first tag team title match in 115 days, and just the fourth overall in 2024 so far.
Dang.
Exactly. I was like,
We're already
holy
in
fucking
August.
Exactly. I was like, oh my god, we're almost done with this year. Like, that is nuts.
I
Oh
don't
man.
know. I just feel like for certain people it's a dream. Of course, like Brian Danielson, like I said, he gets his chance to wrestle whoever he wants to, uh, at his own choice within his own rules and all that. But it's just a chaos for everyone else when there's no storyline or really everyone's doing whatever they want. It
Mm-hmm.
just makes it like a hodgepodge of like things that don't make any sense. You know?
There's another tweet that I like, so that way we can bring it up in this conversation, because we talked about the advertising in AEW, because I want better advertising, like for the matches and shit.
Uh huh.
But like, before I read it, I feel like it's more based toward the hardcore fans. Like, I feel like it's mainly based towards the hardcore fans, and to those who see it on X or like online, whatever. Because from this past, I don't know, do you remember anything that happened from this past Dynamite? They had a match between Danielson and Jeff Jarrett. Like, that was the main event.
I just remember him getting hit with the guitar, but very gently,
Okay,
getting hit in the
yeah.
back.
Yeah, so they had a match because it was like a respect for Owen Hart, whatever, because the
Hmm.
Owen Hart Cup that they did. That was the main thing, and the other main thing was Mariah May had her match, and then Tony Storm came out. They had a big old brawl outside. They got separated. Those were the
Hmm.
main two things that I had. But afterwards, like after the show was fucking finished, they said that there was a brawl between Adam Page and Jeff Jarrett, because you know how Adam Page is angry against Swerve Strickland, like for
Okay.
so he's wait before, I think around like their Texas Death Match that they had, that Strickland went to Adam Page's house and fucked up a bunch of shit, right?
Okay.
And Adam Page did this fucking badass promo where he talked about like he came into my house, like my family had to move, he fucking came after me and my daughter and my kid, and like y'all people still fucking cheer him, like dude, like it was heartfelt. It came from the fucking heart. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing was, it was posted on X. It's like, dude, you should be posting this shit on live TV so that way more fans could see it.
Yeah,
So
the
the
casual fans.
Yeah, so the tweet that I have, it's from air at airgold underscore. They said one big criticism of AEW that I always have is that if you're not active on Twitter, then there's a lot of things about the show that you simply don't know. Last night, for example, which was in reference to what I was just saying about the last Dynamite this past Wednesday, if you're someone who strictly only watches Dynamite, one, you don't know that there was a post Dynamite brawl. Two, you have no idea about the Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher promo. Three, you have no idea what's on Rampage or Collision. And that's the problem almost every week. AEW caters too much to the hardcore online audience and ignores the casual viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
picture that they had posted was AEW had posted a tweet saying immediately following AEW Dynamite, there was an incident involving Hangman Page and Jeff Jarrett. Video to come. And then Tony Khan replies to it. In addition to Hangman and Jeff, it also involved Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner Mariah May and her former mentor and Wembley Stadium opponent AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Tony Storm. It was right by my chair as we wrapped up AEW Dynamite. That was
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan replying to the AEW tweet. And then AEW tweeted again while Renee Paquette was getting comments from real Jeff Jarrett following his Anything Goes match against Danielson on Dynamite. There was an incident involving Jarrett, Page, Mariah May, and Tony Storm. And then they also posted a video of covered in blood, exclusive, covered in blood. Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay reflect on what happened with AEW American Champion MJF on Dynamite, and also with that match, MJF had a match with Kyle Fletcher, who's really close with Will Ospreay, and MJF just beat the fucking shit out of him, pretty much, like post match.
Mm-hmm.
And in that interview, um, Ospreay's talking about how he doesn't want to do the Tiger Driver 91, which is when he hooks the arms, lifts them up, and drops them on their fucking head. Right? Like he
Yeah.
like he's just like, man, dude, I can't do that. And then Kyle Fletcher's trying to tell him, you should do that. Like, like why the fuck aren't you doing that? Whatever. Like it was intense, but dude, it's just all online. It's like
Yeah.
for a casual viewer, like why are you gonna have invest in these random matches if there's like no proper filler. There's no proper story being told.
You can't, like, unless you're, like you just said, a hardcore fan, and you have to follow this person, that person, or like follow the breadcrumbs that lead you to the fucking gingerbread house that is AEW. Like
Hmm.
it's a lot of if type shit. Like that's it. It's like, how the fuck is a casual fan supposed to understand that if they tune in? Oh, thanks for tuning in to the Big Bang Theory. Now watch this random match, but there was a story for it. You just missed out because you're not on X or whatever.
Hmm. And it's like man, it must be confusing to be a casual fan, dude, because you don't know
Yeah.
that they have like 8 championships. You don't know who's the champions. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't even know who the trios champions are. And again, like so, like in addition to that, like Humble Wrestling, they also posted the introduction of the trios titles ruined what was once the highlight of AEW, their tag team division. Instead of one great division, you now have two average divisions. Then you also have the Ring of Honor 6-man titles, which was reintroduced recently again. In parentheses, I don't know why, where it's almost a guarantee that will be featured on AEW TV semi regularly. And for that, they'll use the AEW guys to fight the champs. You can't book these many multi-band titles at once on your main programming and just do do justice to every single title. And it says that they got that, what was it, Bang Bang Gang, the
Mm-hmm.
one with the Juice Robinson and Jay White.
Mhm.
that they were the champions, like they were double champions. But that account said because Jay White was injured, instead of doing the Freebird rules, they fucking stripped them of both titles and they split the belts again. And it's like, dude, you have both guns and Juice Robinson, like do Freebird rules to where Juice Robinson can just be part of that tag team so they don't lose the belts and just make it one title. Man,
No,
it's so
it's
frustrating.
it's a mess, dude. It's such a chaotic mess, and like literally, you're here like those cork boards with the fucking yarn, just trying to figure out who's where and what's what and who's winning. So all I could say is, yeah, what this has to do with Brian Danielson, I'm glad he's happy, but everyone else is suffering with
I
the
know.
freedom.
I guess that's all you can do, man. It's like just be happy for the person involved, but
Yeah.
it's like in the bigger aspect of things, it kind of sucks for wrestlers who are only being shown like once every 3 weeks compared to again Orange Cassidy who's on there every fucking week.
Mm-hmm. Just
Ah,
just
man.
just for the hell of it. I don't know. It's
Yeah, man.
ridiculous. We do have more comments here from Brian Danielson. Brian Danielson. Oh, we'll see. So Brian Danielson was asked if he regrets leaving WWE before Triple H got in charge. Danielson said not at all because he prefers AEW. Let's listen to what he has to say here.
Is there any part of you that regrets leaving when you did?
Oh no, not at all.
No.
Yeah.
Like if things had changed, but when you were still there, would you have stayed on?
No, I think how I view it is, obviously things have changed for the better there, substantially. And so, but how I view it is, one, I've had an incredible time doing what I'm doing, and there are a lot of people who, and I think I'm one of these people who prefer the style in AEW that's more wrestling focused, that's more, as opposed to the drama focused or whatever it is. But I like the idea that there's an alternative. And one of the things that I've really, when I put thought into what I wanted to do as far as leaving WWE, I never was somebody who disliked WWE. And I've tried at least, I've tried not to say anything bad about them because I really enjoyed my time there and I enjoy the people that I worked with and the people that are there are still my friends and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I've really wanted is to participate in this thing that makes the wrestling industry better for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having AEW, even just the fact that AEW exists, is much better for all of us.
100%.
So
100%.
So yeah, and I also I'm preferential to the style. I like the style a little bit.
Okay, so that was kind of what we talked about a little while ago. That he's obviously preferential to AEW because he works there, but he still cares about WWE.
That's kind of nice to hear, that he still cares about the people over there. He has really nothing bad to say about them. I don't know if you remember, but like one of the reasons why he left WWE was because he really wanted to go and wrestle in Japan, and they didn't let him.
I
Mhm.
didn't
He
know that.
just, yeah, he just wanted to do a couple matches in New Japan, and like Vince was under the regime at the time, and he said no. I'm pretty sure if he was there today, like WWE would be like, yeah, we'll work around it, like we'll make it work because they seem more
Yeah.
lenient, like with Io Sky, Shinsuke, AJ Styles, or even oh shit, there was somebody else just recently that went over there. Fuck. I don't remember, but that's good. I'm just glad he's very optimistic about things, and I guess he is right about AW having like just a more wrestling based style because even though we talk shit, like they feel like there's no story being involved, but maybe that's because we're so used to there being a story because
Yeah.
we're very like WWE heavy based. Like that's what I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just wrestling based and it's more like high flying, more technical, more submissive, and it is, even though we do talk shit, it is good that there's more options for everybody to view. Like there's AW, TNA, New Japan, like God forbid GCW. But
No, I don't know about that.
having more variety, it is good for everybody.
Yeah, no, he's right about that. That AEW, and even you hear interviews of Cody Rhodes and CM Punk when they ask him, "Oh, do you want it to fail?" And they're like, "No, we don't want it to fail. We want AEW to succeed. We have friends there.
Mhm.
It's wrestling. Like we just want, everyone to be. There's enough room for everyone.
Yeah,
And
there's just more negative that outweigh the positive.
yeah. Whenever we shit on AEW and criticize it, or I mean, I do a lot. You do sometimes. It's mostly just things that just don't make sense, or they do things haphazardly, or I don't know. But I mean, we critique WWE as well whenever it
Mhm.
shit like it doesn't make sense or it's weird, But
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
no,
It
but
is what it is.
I'm glad I hope he's safe, and I hope he stays safe and he stays healthy, because he's one of the guys that deserves it very
Absolutely.
much. Speaking of weird on WWE, I wanted to bring this up. WWE has announced the introduction of the WWE Speed Women's Championship Tournament. What do you think about this? Because I didn't watch any. I remember when I was kind of hyped for the men's speed thing on Twitter, X, or whatever, and I didn't watch any of them. And I don't hear anyone talking about it at all. I'm surprised they're making a women's tournament for it. What do you think about it?
I watched a little bit. I didn't get to keep up with it, but the reason why I would watch it is because it will pop up as an ad from WWE instead of just like a regular post, and I skip over it. And so, if it's an ad, it pops up more times on your timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see it a bunch of, I'll just watch it. Yeah, I got fucking 3 minutes to spare, which is good because I mean, it's another like pointless title that's not like really canon to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's good for like profit, and it's good for like the performers, like to do as much as you can within 3 minutes. What I was very surprised with, they had a different variety of wrestlers on there. Like the other day, I forgot who they had. They had Strowman on there, and they had like Bronson Reed on there in a couple matches. Yeah, and I thought it was mainly like cruiserweights or like
Mm-hmm.
like the class above them, like middleweights.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I guess anybody could be on it, and then they just have the 3 minute match, and that's it. It's an easy watch. It's nothing bad. But like you said, it's kind of weird that introducing a women's one too. I guess it's just doing them a lot of business because what I've been hearing is that they get views on that shit. Like it's been doing them nothing but good.
There's a tweet here. It says, what did it say? Oh, just one step closer to the women having the Intercontinental Championship. No, there was one that said, what do you mean? That's how long a woman's match is on WWE already. 3 minutes.
What the fuck?
I ever seen that. I was like, that's fucked up.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it's gonna help showcase some of the talents that haven't been able to be showcased, I know like Selena Vega. I haven't seen her in a while. I kind of miss her, or anyone else that might need to be showcased. Hey, put Bailey on there.
And
She
I
just
put
lost.
Dakota Kai on there. Please put
Yeah.
Dakota Kai on there.
Or put some of the talent from NXT too. There's a lot of female talent that's pretty hot. I mean, pretty hot in NXT.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'll be cool. Like if
Yeah.
it when it pops up, I'll watch it. But I really don't think I go out of my way to see it unless I come across it. But since everything's wrestling based, like it will pop up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Speaking of being cut off, Anna, now we have the statement from Soft Ground Uganda Wrestling.
Oh my god.
Which I don't know if this is a work or a shoot, but I'm gonna read this novel here. I guess they're making accusations about the money and where it's going because they've been getting a lot of money lately. My only statement on the wild accusations being made toward me: I love wrestling. I love the children, orphans, and those who rely on me. We are all a big family here. We've had guests come from around the world who have thoroughly enjoyed their experiences. They have seen our operation. Lifetime memories have been made, and our future is bright. For donated monies, We had to show proof of purchase for items from the MXM Achieve the Dream stream. We have also shown videos of food arrival and mattresses. Thanks to you, they can all sleep and eat. And thanks to Mansoor's wonderful mother, we have a van. My English isn't perfect, so I will take fault for that. We are amending and working on the contract offered by NBS TV as some things need to be ironed out. It's an exciting time. We took a picture by the stadium because that is a dream one day. We weren't announcing an immediate event. The ring is in position meant that it is on the cusp of happening, not built and ready to go. Lord White, the source, has been on a mission against us. He demanded a percentage of donation money, which I told him no. He was also inappropriately texting our younger female orphans to head over to his apartment at strange late hours. I refused to let that happen. There was no place for that deviance. He is not part of SGW anymore, and he is not happy about it. There's a vendetta, an agenda. The materials in our area are not sufficient to make a ring, we've discovered. We've been working with Cody's team to get one delivered to an accessible port sooner than later. Our gratitude cannot be put into words on what Cody is looking to do for us. These things take time. I am writing this from a mattress laying on the floor from our office. This is where I sleep in case anyone needs anything. I am not stealing money or living luxuriously. I am always accessible. Please continue to have faith in SGW, myself, and support these amazing wrestlers. We are a big family here, and our future looks bright. There's been a concerted effort by a select few to call us a scam from the beginning, which White has latched onto. The volunteer cited in the article was untrustworthy, and it has resulted in a split. Nothing more, nothing less. He wasn't abused. Again, a lot of my English is translated and needs work, but it was dealt with, and we moved forward. Let us all move forward, full speed ahead, continue to nourish and celebrate these wrestlers and create stars. We are all indebted to you forever. Bamboosh. So that is a statement from Bamboosh Daniel of SGW Wrestling. What do you think about his statement here?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just like, after reading this, I'm like, I cannot tell if this is for realsies or not real.
Yeah, I don't know, because that whole Lord White part where he's texting underage orphans.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait, is this a worker shoot? Like, what's going on?
yeah. And then also, like, he's still calling him Lord White.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if that's true or not. But then he
I
gets
don't
into
know.
details about the money they received and what they're getting. I'm just confused, man. I don't know what to
Mhm.
think, and like a lot of people are fucking shitting on it in the comments, dude.
Were they?
I think so. They're like, "Oh, like you're a fucking liar," and all this other stuff.
It
I'm
says
trying to
don't
remember.
believe this scamming funk. Listen to this pod and read this article. Soft ground, soft targets. How Daniel Bumbo stooped the wrestling. So yeah, I guess like a Dark Side of the Ring episode in the making. So
Yeah.
this whole promotion was a scam, and the guys running it being scammers. Like I said, I wanted to be wrong the whole time, thinking this was a scam, but this sounds like a scam.
Oh my god. Yeah, it does, man. And it makes me upset. Like I just want the good out of it, man. I wanted them to get the fucking ring. If they
Mhm.
just got the ring, none of this would have been an issue. But Lord White, damn it. I'm just kidding.
And here's some. They had posted here some receipts and like the food pictures of the food they received, receipts, the mattresses. I guess the tents, but and then more invoices. So they posted this on there, like the evidence to everything.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just feel like, where's the ring? Like that was the one thing they were always about was, hey, help us get our ring. We
Hmm.
are we are wrestling in on this soft mud ground. Help us get our ring. That's what we really want. And they're using the money for everything else but the ring. And I know they need food. I know they need mattresses, but the whole first priority was to get these kids wrestling in a ring, and that was like that was the proposal, right? Like that was the
Hmm.
first thing they asked for, and they have used all the funds for everything but that, supposedly. So it's like if you're not getting the thing that you promised you needed help with, that we were going to help you with, how do we believe you're spending the money on anything else but, you know?
Man, I want to believe this escalated from the ring because maybe it's just like a law they have over there in Uganda where it's like the property, like you can only do so much to it. Kind of like when
Mhm.
you rent, you can only do so much to an apartment,
Yeah, the
or like
land.
too much to, yeah, you can only do so much to a land. Maybe they did want to build a ring there, but maybe it's just like the foundation isn't proper to build a ring or something. Like you said, I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because I want to see good come out of this. I want to see them be able to get a ring.
Mhm.
I but it's like maybe it's them like, oh, we gotta go somewhere else. Okay, we found this piece of land here, but someone owns it. Oh, they want to charge us for this much. Oh, like like we're hungry, like we're gonna be tired from doing all this stuff. I just want to feel like it really escalated because of all the problems of getting a ring and like the shipping costs, the shipping issues. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt here because I just want them to. I really want them to see them get a ring.
Yeah. No, and I, like I said, I wanted it too, but it reminds me, it sounds so much like a scammer behavior where it's like, oh man, all I need is a car, help me buy a car and I can make it to work. And then it's like, I had to buy lunch, I had to buy some shoes, I had to buy a suit for an interview. And
Yeah.
it gets to a point where it's like, dude, you told me this was the first thing you needed, that was a priority, and then you get everything else. Why are you buying everything else first? And of course, yeah, you want to have empathy because it's food, it's mattresses for orphans, but
Hmm.
that's a little too cliche. We need food and mattresses for our orphans before we can buy a ring. But they've already been given, so all we need is $3,000 to buy a ring, American, and they've been given that, what, like 5, 6, 8 times over, and they
Yeah.
still have no ring. You know?
Man, it's all looking bad. It's all
Yeah.
looking bad.
And then Cody promising that he'll do whatever to get a ring, and I'm hoping they don't scam him. Or, of course, he's not going to come out and say, "Oh, SGW's trying to scam me," because he's a fucking babyface. So he's going to say that shit. He's just going to quietly fucking let that check bounce. You know?
Oh man, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, man. Once they get a ring, hopefully it all gets said and done. Like it becomes chill again. That's what I'm hoping.
It better be the nicest fucking. It better look like the NXT ring. Like, it better fucking be a nice ring.
Oh man, I hope so, dude. It better say Prime in the middle. I want to see Wingstop in the corner.
I want to see the Mr. Beast logo.
Dude,
And Lord
man,
White. I want to see
Lord,
the Lord.
Lord White's face just in the middle, but I want to see him. Never mind. There, I fuck it. It was gonna be a stupid fucking joke. I'll stop.
See that too. I don't know if that's a work or a shoot that he's texting underage.
Exactly. I was gonna see. So the joke I was gonna make is like, I want to see his face on there, but with the text message that he's texting these underage girls.
Yeah.
I
Like,
need to
what
see
is
those
that?
receipts.
What does that have to do with not having a ring?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh man.
Uh, um. Lastly, here on the news, and this is a real quick blurb. Creator of CM Punk's famous bracelet comes forward to request compensation, and then up here, the person who did make the bracelet, LOL, this is definitely being taken way out of context. I had 30 followers when I tweeted this, expected nothing of it. Just wanted to show I was the one who made it. So I don't know. What do you think about this? About things just getting blown out of proportion like that?
It is what it is, man.
His famous bracelet.
Oh man, dude. All of this social media is just a game of telephone, man. One person hears one thing and it gets mixed up in the mix.
Mm-hmm. No, it's The Undertaker's right. We shouldn't even have to deal with social media. We should just fucking let it all burn.
We need the internet off for like a week and everyone just to go outside and riot.
Just to reset.
Yeah, and Undertaker was right too that Logan Paul was the greatest champion of all time.
Yeah. Men can't box in women. I don't know. Whatever. I'm still on Lord White protecting orphans. Like I'm like, these orphans have phones. We're giving the orphans phones too.
So, yeah, anyone can get anything now, man. What the heck?
Well, we're at that time again with botches and cool spots, so we'll get to that. Let's see here. We have a massive German suplex hit at the Olympics. Check out this girl up here.
Ooh, shit.
Dude, that was like a Brock Lesnar German suplex, like beautiful.
That's like Brock Lesnar tossing Daniel Bryan. Beautiful.
Dude, that's like Benoit.
Oh, dude, man, those fucking suplexes. For those audio listeners only, like at the Olympics, they had these two women who are wrestling each other, and one of them gives them a German suplex, and the chick taking it lands like on the back of her neck, probably. Yeah. She folds in half.
Yeah, like I mean, like not safe, of course, because they're wrestling for real. But it was like a beautiful German suplex. Like,
oh man, she had her back arch and everything, like tiptoes, like she was ready to pin them, dude. Oh yeah. Man,
that's like a finishing move, German suplex right there.
Hell yeah, beautiful, man, beautiful.
Here's this guy won a trip to WrestleMania. Let's see. So yeah, I guess that guy right there won a trip to WrestleMania. And the whammy ruined it. Man on Press Your Luck wins trip to WrestleMania 41, then loses it to the whammy.
Oh
no! So he lost it.
Damn it, dude! I was just gonna ask. I wonder where he sat at.
No, he lost it. WrestleMania 41. That's the next one, right? Coming up.
41, yeah, in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I used to love Whammy, dude. That was one of my favorite game shows.
Yeah, I remember as a kid always watching it and not really getting it, the rules, but really liking the colors and noises.
Yeah, dude, yeah, me too. I was the exact same way, man. I was like, fuck, they got the Whammy. I don't know.
The whammies.
Dude, no, Whammy was one of my favorite game shows watching it. I never knew they brought it back.
I guess so, because that's with Elizabeth Early, so it must be brand new.
Damn. Well, that sucks for him. Hopefully, he still won.
Hopefully, yeah, he won something. That sucks though, to lose your WrestleMania trip valued at $8,000.
Man, dude, they're gonna fucking spit on you from where you're sitting at.
Here is a Taco Bell ad hijacked Jack Perry promo.
Is how much you're willing to sacrifice for it.
Why take less when you can get a beef layer burrito, a chalupa supreme, a double stack taco, and a drink for just $7? $7 Lux Cravings box, only at Taco Bell.
Right in the past.
Oh my god.
That was pretty funny.
That's fucking good. For audio listeners. They're doing a vignette for Jack Perry, and in the middle of it, they just cut a Taco Bell commercial. Like, just in the middle of this vignette, when it comes back, it's just Jack Perry destroying a bunch of fucking TVs with an axe.
Dude, that Lux box looked pretty good, though.
It looked good. I might get one tonight, to be honest with you.
That's a pretty good deal. A burrito a chalupa, a taco, and a drink for $7 with nachos.
That's not bad at all, dude.
No. Right in the middle of a Jack Perry vignette where he's being all serious.
Oh, dude, it would have been more funny if he was the one holding the craving box, like to advertise it midway through his promo instead of the commercial just cutting.
Would be cool if it was like on one of those TVs and it just zoomed into it and it just like showed it and then zoomed out from it and he breaks like the TV that had the
Damn, bro,
Taco Bell promo.
we should be booking this shit, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's way better. These people don't know shit. I know.
Nah, man. Book it, Tony.
They don't know shit. Here's TNT announced. Let's see what's this here. TNT announced its new show Overdrive, which brings you AEW wrestlers watching adrenaline-filled clips and telling their own thrilling stories on Saturday nights. Let's check out the clip.
After Collision.
This is a collection of the most thrilling moments.
For the adrenaline junkie in all of us.
And
We'll be here all night with exclusive stories.
that's right.
TNT Overdrive. Saturdays at 10 on TNT.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
They have the show, right? It's ridiculousness.
I'm pretty sure they have very many shows that are like this. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is just ridiculous. Oh, man, fuck ridiculousness, man.
I mean, whatever gets them paid a little bit more, the wrestlers I do like, all those wrestlers, who was it? Willow Nightingale, she's cool. The
The Acclaimed.
Gang, they're good. Will
Darby
Ospreay,
Allin. Oh, yeah, Will Ospreay. And Darby Allin? Did I see Darby Allin?
I didn't, but you know he's going to be there. You know he's going to be there.
He's going to be in one of those videos, right?
Yeah, he's going to be a clip doing his own shit.
Oh, my God. I mean, you know, props to them. It'll get him paid.
Hell yeah. Here's R-Truth in a new tweet saying he might start an OnlyFans and sell pics of his feet. He says here, Ron Killings, I just might start an OnlyFans and sell pics of my feet. I'm only sharing a thought I just had. That's all. That's a tweet. Yeah, I don't know if I'd follow him for feet pics. I don't know how. I'm not into men or black man. I'm not into black men for feet. Let me see.
No, yeah. Feet look nice. I mean, I'll support him. Yeah, I'll support him.
If it was like under $10, maybe a month. But anything over that, nah, I'm not. Like $12.95 or $12. No.
That's a little pricey. But I love R-Truth, man. He's a fucking treasure.
I do love R-Truth. He's hilarious.
I don't know if I should follow him on Instagram, but Giselle follows him on Instagram because he's just really fucking funny. And he posted a picture with him and Jelly Roll, and in the caption he put, "Hey guys, I just met Post Malone."
I saw that. Maybe if Post Malone wasn't on Ozempic, he'd look like him.
Dude, it's just so fucking funny.
Here's a little news blurb here. Britt Baker has been cast in Netflix's Cobra Kai. PW Insider confirmed that she'll be playing a character in the final season, which was described to them as a European fighter on a team competing in an international karate tournament. I don't know. I mean, is she gonna play like a woman that gossips and
right, calling everybody a stupid fucking bitch,
but in a European accent?
Right, just fucking leg sweeping everybody.
Oh, you fucking cunt! I don't know.
Have you seen Cobra Kai? I've never seen it.
No, I've never seen it. Never seen it. I hear it's good.
Yeah, I heard so too. Good for them. Good for them.
Good for them. Yep. Bobby Lashley here. Bobby Lashley says he prefers Vince McMahon's booking over Triple H. Let's hear.
I had a connection with Vince. Vince understood me.
Mm-hmm.
Vince was big on like this show. He looked at people that were stars, and he saw that in me. And there was a lot of little nuggets that Vince would give me all the way throughout my career and tell me different things. So Vince just looked at me. He was like, I can tell Bobby works his ass off. I can send him anywhere around the country to represent the company, the brand. And he just looked at me as a star. So I like Vince.
So we going with Vince.
I haven't really had too much connection with Hunter. Hunter has his guys. And I've tried to, but we haven't really worked enough together to even get to know each other.
For sure.
Yeah, what do you think about this? Does this make Triple H look any less racist when Bobby Lashley says something
No,
like that?
I don't think it's a race thing, man. I understand because when Bobby Lashley showed up, Triple H was still a wrestler, like in 2006, 2007 when he debuted, and Triple H just recently took over like a year or two ago. So I guess I understand what he's talking from. It doesn't make him like a bad person or anything just because he prefers Vince. It is what it is.
Vince likes those big, meaty men. Like, he really does, right? Those, like, bodybuilder, big, huge men. And fucking Bobby Lashley's like the genetic, like, perfect genetic code, for that.
Yeah. And plus, I guess Bobby Lashley has had more like WrestleMania moments under Vince. Like, it's the fucking Donald Trump match, like at 23. WrestleMania 36 or 37 when it was 37 when he fought Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship and won, defended it. He what else did he do? I'm trying to remember what else he did, but I know like when Triple H took over, he was left off of 39 because I think he just won the Battle Royal on SmackDown, and he was upset because he wasn't put on Mania, and then he was put on Mania of this past year, and I think it was like the Philadelphia street fight between. He was with the Street Profits, and Snoop Dogg was there. That sounds like a shitpost.
And it was sponsored by like gin and juice liquor or some shit.
Gin and juice liquor, yeah. so he didn't have enough time, but I guess he was just just wants to do something different, which more power to him. It doesn't make anybody look bad.
Nah, yeah, Bobby Lashley's great. He's a great guy. I'm for him very much. So, lastly, here we have a new Mercedes Mone meme. Let me play it and see what she has to say. Let's see.
Stop it. Get off the internet. Go outside. Play. Touch the grass.
All right, that's
okay. That's Mercedes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, that she's telling us to get off the show.
I guess so. That's
I guess
good.
so.
We got to put that as an end clip now. Every time we end the podcast.
Yeah, I gotta save that. I mean, she get a real quick look at her again. She looks, like she's ready to step out into the strip club. But I don't mind that.
Hell yeah.
But I guess that's the episode. Thank you all for listening to another episode of That's All Kayfabe. We appreciate all y'all listening. What do you have to say to the people, Gabe?
Nothing much. Thank y'all for listening to episode 37. I can't believe we made it to this many episodes, man. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Dang.
But thank you guys for listening. Thank y'all for liking, commenting, subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, rating us on Spotify. All that support, it helps out the channel.
Yeah, no, all that sharing and caring and all that. And yeah, thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with more rumors and scammers and all that other stuff.
And Lord White news.
Oh, Lord. I hope we don't get any more Lord White news. Everyone take care. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.